Okie dokie. It is time to go live. Let's see, are we live yet? It appears as though we may be indeed live. Let's check this out. Yes. Y'all let me know. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Where are we at? Let me know. We got something. We're going to get a little crazy today. I got a lot of bottles up here. A lot of bottles. Too many bottles. See, I was watching ADHD Whiskey's video, and he does 1 ounce Wednesdays. So I decided we're just going to do 20 ounce Wednesdays because we're going to go big or we're going to go home. Well, I'm already home. I don't know how that's. Anyway, we're just going to go big. We're going to go big. So we released a video where we were reviewing Angel's Envy, and I'm not a huge fan of whiskey that has been finished in things, right? If it's finished in oak, you know, if it's a double oaked, if it's a toasted barrel, something like that, fine. Those can be really good. But if it's finished in port wine or cognac cask or Cabernet, I don't usually enjoy those more than just a normal bourbon. Now there are exceptions. There are exceptions. I will admit, their rules are meant to be broken, right? This Joseph Magnus cigar blend I found exceptional. So there are exceptions to that rule, and some of these I like, some of these I love, some of these I hate. So what I've decided to do is just randomly drink all of them. All of them. This is everything I have on my bar right now that has been finished in something that I would typically describe as distasteful. Some sort of wine barrel, cognac, anything. Like, you know, this one is Amburana barrels, right? Which is not technically in some other drink, but it's, you know, really strongly flavored wood. So my wife has randomized these for me. We've got the results right here. And I have no idea how I'm going to do this because I don't even have enough bar space to pull this off. But we are probably there. We're not going to drink all of them. Okay. So we're not going to drink all of them, just so y'all know. We're not drinking all of them. I'm just going to try to sample. I just wanted to make sure I poured a full 2 ounces of every one of these just to make sure if I needed to go back for a second take or taste that I could do so. But we're not going to try to drink all of these. So we're going to try to not try it. But who we got in the chat? Brandon Rodriguez can hear me. Double Helix Country Boys showing up. Gam Tang. Scott, appreciate you joining. Yeah, Darian, I'm trying to not feel it. I'm trying to not feel it. Who else have we got in here? Looks like we had a few folks showing up early. I appreciate that. The Real, Kevin Hanley, Gary Franchi in the house. Matt Pollard. I see Seth Wilson over there. Kyle Jett. Looks like we got a lot of folks in here. That's a good start. Good start. So I'm not going to be able to leave all of these on the screen. And the bar is a mess. We've still got some setup to do. Y'all can kind of see here that I've got wires hanging and all sorts of stuff. So we're gonna try to slide these over as best we can and just kind of stack them up. So what I want y'all to do though, like y'all look at this real quick. Y'all look at this. These are 10 bottles. I've put a poll in there on the ones that are more likely to win. Let's zoom back in on those 10 bottles. I want y'all to guess, if you can. You could do the complete order. What do you think my order's gonna be? Or you could just do, what do you think is going to be the worst and the best? Can you pick the worst and the best out of these 10 right here? And then I'm going to give y'all a minute to do that after I move all of these. And then I'm going to tell y'all what I think is going to be the best and the worst. And then we're going to see if I'm right or if I'm an idiot. Like, that's okay too, right? I reserve the right to be wrong. But we've got Midwinter Night's Dram. This is Act 7, Scene 2. Blood Oath Pack 6. Blood Oath Pack 7. We've got the TikTok Pick Starlight Carl T. Hubers, finished in Amburana barrels. We've got a Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend batch. What batch is this? 76. They put out a lot of batches, and I've missed them all. Angel's Envy Port Finish. We've got a Jefferson's Reserve Pritchard Hill Cabernet Cask Finish. And then over here, we've got the World Whiskey Society 15-year-old finished in Japanese Mizunara oak shoku barrels. And then we've got a Yellowstone limited release here. This is the Yellowstone 101 finished in Armagnac barrels. And then Jefferson's Grand Selection Chateau Pinchon Baron French oak cask finish. And these are Bordeaux wine barrels. So let me know what you think is going to be the best and the worst. There is something else that I wanted to kind of show y'all that we're going to use to try to make this work if we can. Because this is going to be a mess. Like 10 is too many. I'll admit, this is going to be a disaster. I'm going to screw this up. 10 is too many. But that's what I had, and I couldn't narrow it down. But I got this guy. And I want to know what y'all think about this. Again, people have started reaching out. We're in that weird place where people don't want to pay us to promote their stuff, but they'll send us all the stuff we asked for. So this company reached out, and this is the Original Great Whiskey Challenge Ultimate Spirit Tasting Kit right here. And so what I've done is I've asked them for 3. I'm gonna have to shoot a video. We're not today on the live stream, but I'm gonna shoot an actual video about this. And then we're going to shoot the video, and then I'm going to give one of these away to patrons, and then I'm going to give one away to just somebody who watches and comments on the video. So I want y'all to check this out right here. You open this sucker up, and it's got, you know, some little stickers. You'll find out about those later. It's got kind of instructions. You've got tasting scorecards where you can kind of take notes and write your winner. You've got little plaques here, and this is for 2 people. So this plaque gives you kind of the rules of how you should do a blind tasting, and then it tells you, you know, winner, and it's really for 3. So there's winner, second, third place. It gives you 2 of those because this is really designed, this ultimate kit is designed for 2 people. And inside, if you peel this back, hopefully we won't drop anything trying to show that to y'all. It's got bottles over here. 4 bottles. It's got 6 whiskey tasting glasses, and it's got a pencil and a funnel and some little tags you can put on the bottles so you can tag your bottles so you know what's ABC and what's in each one. So it's really so you can randomize it without having anybody. It's kind of like Matt at ADHD Whiskey does his, where he puts it on the turntable. These already have the letters on the bottom. So this one is C, and then B. And I've taken these out and washed them. I recommend you do so when people send you things. That's the second C, so I probably put them in the wrong order. But ABC and then ABC. And they're nice glasses. They're very Glencairn-esque. We're not going to use the rest of this stuff, but I'll put it all back in there nice and neat later. We're just going to use the glasses because I need more glasses with letters on them if we're going to try 10 different things. But what do y'all think about this? It's like $100 or so they're selling online. As much as Glencairns go for, that's not a terrible price for all it contains and a nice travel case. But I thought this was pretty cool, worth playing around with. Want me to zoom in? I could. It's going to be really difficult for me to zoom in. Oh, I'm on the wide screen. I'm sorry. I could zoom in like that. So let me show y'all. I'll show y'all a little closer then. I didn't realize I was on the widescreen there. So you've got these, you know, nice little whiskey glasses, and then, you know, the letters on the bottom, ABC, and then it's this very nice travel case here, where everything fits nice and neat in there. You've got these, I want to show you here. These little, and you just kind of put your winners there. So you set them down and you order them in that way. And it's got a really nice travel case. Smells interesting. You know, smells like foam and wood. But I'll try to set up better Zoom capabilities later. I need to get this finished. I've got to run some wires and stuff so get a wireless keyboard and mouse so I can control this stream a little better. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to try to keep up with the chat as much as possible, but I'm going to be doing a lot of drinking. DKG's new. Sorry, I missed the comment. My liquor store just got a bunch of Starlight Hubers. Might be, I think the Carlty Hubers is this Amberana finish. Sipping some Jack Daniels. Nice, Rusty. I'm going to be having all sorts of ryes, and I don't know what. I don't know what. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start with 3 of them. These are A, B, C, and we are going to rank these, and then we're going to start filling in on them. And again, let me know out of those bottles we're doing if what y'all think would be first and what y'all think would be last. So I'm just grabbing randomly. This is A that I have grabbed randomly, and we are going to put A in the A glass because that just makes sense, right? Why would you not do that? All right, just a little taste. So we've got some more A if we need it. Set this guy over here. What did I randomly grab? D. This is already getting confusing. Why did I have her use letters? Why did she not number these? So A is in A. A is in A. D is in B. Lord. Or actually, D is in C. This is a disaster already. Okay. D is in C. The D is in the C. The C is in the D. And B is in B. All right. Good stuff. I should have thought this through. I really should have thought this through. B is in B. So A is in A, B is in B, D is in C. So what I think is, I think the cigar blend, if you just handed me these bottles and said, what do you think your favorite's going to be? The cigar blend's going to be the one that I like. The one that I hate the most is either going to be that Cabernet. It's going to be one of those Jeffersons. More than likely the Pritchard Hill, but it could be the Chateau. Actually, probably the Chateau finish is the one I think I would like the least. D is in drink me. Exactly. 70 viewers. Hit the like button. Eagle Rare. Nothing wrong with that, Louis. These glasses are small, which is good when you're tasting. So whatever that is pleasant. That's a pleasant whiskey. A little oaky. It's got a nice sweetness to it. It has a nice finish. Like it just kind of, that sweet oakiness kind of lingers. That's not bad. This is going to be hard. Should I do Coke or should I do water or Dr. Pepper? Like, should we do Dr. Pepper in between these? Is that what we should do? I know what that one is. I don't even have to drink it. I do not have to drink it, but that is the Carl T. Huber Starlight right there. I don't even need to drink it. Had to log onto the computer. OWA's fantastic. Mike says Dr. Pepper. Honestly, I brought the Dr. Pepper just for that stuff like that freaking Starlight. God almighty knows. That Starlight is not my thing. It literally, if y'all remember the cinnamon challenge that was going around a couple of years ago on TikTok, where people would just stick a whole spoonful of bitter cinnamon and then you try to swallow it, but it's a really difficult thing to do. That's pretty much what that tastes like. So that one, so I'm going to rank D, and that sucks because that actually may be the worst one. That may be the worst one. I'm putting D toward the bottom because I think it's going to be toward the bottom. And I think A, it's going to be in the top half. Yeah. And then that one's interesting. It's hard to get any freaking taste buds after drinking something like that Amburana. If I had to guess, that's one of the Blood Oaths. That's B. I don't know. That's got some proof to it. What's the proof on those Blood Oaths? That could be the Magnus. Yeah. That might be the Magnus. That's got a very pleasant sweetness. Some interesting flavors. What would I, A or D? That one's really easy. That one has super high proof. And the super high proof is hitting me good. I shouldn't be trying to guess, right? But the super high proof is hitting me really strong tonight. Um, mm, that's a tough call, though. All right, I'm going to put B as my leader right now. And then we're going to call it B1 and D1. Actually, no, this is B because they're the bottle labels. So, all right. And then this guy here, C or D, is way down at the bottom. And then A is, I'm going to put it a distant second for now. So that's our first batch. And we've got 7 more to freaking go. Let's catch up with the chat. What's going on? Is this fun, or would y'all rather me just talk to y'all? First time viewer, long time drinker. Hey, I understand that. Been on a rye whiskey kick, a mid-price rye. Have you had a Michter's rye? It's one of my favorites. Oh, yes, getting Michter's rye right there. Love those. Good suggestions. A rare breed rye, yes. A Wild Turkey 101 rye for, what's that going to be? $25-$30. Try that one as well. What do you not like about it's the finish. It's the finish on the Jeffersons that I don't think I'm going to like. Love the telephone. Yeah, this guy over here is, or y'all may be behind. Make sure y'all are catching up. Parrot Head and Alex might be behind. This is fun? Okay, gotcha. So we'll keep going. As long as y'all are having fun, I'm going to have fun. So these are ABC. I'm going to actually skip those, and we're going to use these, and then we'll use those at the end. So we're going to try 4 of them here in the middle, and then we'll try 3 at the end, and then we'll see if we need to go back and forth to get them right. So these are backwards for y'all, right for me. So we're going to call this ABCD2. I'm going to have to get more glasses if I'm going to do this and put like all the letters of the alphabet in them, because this is chaotic. I'm going to screw this up. So E is in A2. And then H is in B2. H, I got to do like paperwork. This is like, it's like I'm working a detective job at the freaking city police or something. I got paperwork to do. I'm going to put C in C because that's smart and lucky. I just picked up a bottle. I didn't know what it was. So C is in C2. And then smart people would do letters and numbers. They really would. Smart people would do this. F is in D. This is like some sort of the Da Vinci Code or something. F is in D2. All right. Got some whiskeys. Let's taste them. Keep drinking. Fun. ADHD's in the chat. Awesome. See, ADHD, we had to, you did 1 ounce Wednesdays. We're doing 20 ounce Wednesdays. What does that say? That we're irresponsible, probably. It's probably what it says. I don't know if ADHD, I didn't see his comment. Again, it scrolled a little faster because y'all are way over there. I could probably look here. What'd he say? I don't even see a comment from him. Don't even see a comment from him. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. 87 watching? Smokey, we're getting out of hand. This is getting crazy. What are we doing? We're going to get to 100 before you know it. Calumet blend of 8 and 15 year. Okay, that's definitely got a. What is that? Which bottle is that? I think that's one of the Jeffersons. I think that's one of the Jeffersons for sure. Yeah. Hey, I need more of that. I need. It's sweet. It's not as unpleasant as I remember, but that's definitely one of those Jeffersons for sure. Um, let's rinse our mouth out with some Dr. Pepper. Not enough likes. I know. People don't like it. I'm not sure what's going on, DKT. It's fine. It's fine. If you don't want to like it, it's okay. You can thumbs down it if you want to. Not had any finished whiskey unless you count this rot gut. Yeah, that's probably not. And I'm not a huge fan of it. Although I will say that these have been better so far. Even this one, that is one that I would have said that I don't like, is better. But I don't think it's better than just drinking a bourbon. It's better than I remember it being. That one's pleasant. Honestly, if you'd have given me that one, I wouldn't have been sure that it was finished. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I can taste a little bit of that finish. That one's pretty good. That B and A are going to be close. Or not this A. Sorry. The original A. It's confusing. I know. This one is much better than A. So I'm gonna put, A has the E bottle in it. I'm going to put that a good bit above D. That has a very sharp finish to it. Not terrible, but I'm not sure I like it better. Yeah, I like it better than the A, which is E. So the C is C. So I'm going to put that above. I don't know. I need to wash my mouth out. I'm still tasting that last one. Yellowstone is not going to win, Uncle Nate. Matter of fact, I think that might have been the Yellowstone there in C. I'm not sure. And is that a World Whiskey? It is a World Whiskey Society bottle. This one is finished in Japanese, 15-year finished in Japanese shoku barrels, which is apparently some sort of beverage that I've never had. I had some guy comment on the video about Armagnac, because we joked about me mispronouncing it. And then I just kind of rolled with what is an Armagnac, although I've never drank an Armagnac. They're like, if you don't know what an Armagnac is, why are you on here calling yourself a whiskey expert? And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't think it's like, I've never called myself an expert in anything, man. Like literally, my tagline is the world's least helpful whiskey taster. So I don't know what a shoku is, and I've never tried an Armagnac. That one is pleasant, but not special. That one is about as middle of the road as you can get. So I've got to place the A bottle here. Mizunara is, but it's shoku. So shoku is like some sort of like fermented beverage or something, right? Caramel note, Gear Jammer. Yeah, if you want caramel note, get an Old Forester Statesman or any Michter's products. And those are caramel bombs to me. We should have his wife mess with him and make him a blind dickel. Hey, dude, if you want to send it, we will do it. Send it to her. Send it to the P.O. box. Put a note on the outside of it, because my wife's sister actually checks the P.O. box for me, so I'm sure she'll deliver it to her. You could surprise me if you wanted to slip one in. But I guarantee you, if you slip a George Dickel in here, I will drink it and I will pick it out. I bet you. If it's a normal George Dickel, if you want to put up even, I'd probably bet the Lincoln. My wife wouldn't let me bet the Lincoln, but I think I placed that one. I need to place the A. What was in the A? I need a little more of that. That was the E bottle. So we need a little more of this E. That's how much I distaste the George Dickel whiskey, because it just, like, I could pick it out. See, the tequila, cognac, and sherry, not the judge. Armagnac is the same as cognac with grapes from a different region. Well, there you go. There you go. Now I'm getting educated. Old Pepper Rye, single barrel. Haven't tried that. I'm an expert on knowing that George T. Stagg is one of the best. That's what makes anybody an expert in anything. They've just been doing it for a while. Okay, so that has a. Oh, I replaced that. Which one did I not place? What was in B? H. Oh, that's the one I did place. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the Jefferson. It threw me off. It's the B that I haven't placed. That was the H bottle. So I'm just drinking stuff needlessly now. Even the Dickel 8-year, I can pick it out, Orange Crush. I tell you what. If somebody I know, like, we got to be careful about taking blinds. Somebody I know wants to send me 4 whiskeys, one of them with George Dickel, we'll do the blind next week. But it's got to be somebody I know, right? Because we troll a little bit and we get some trolls. So I just want to make sure somebody doesn't send me like dog urine or something in a sample. So it's got to be somebody I know. But if y'all want to see that, I'll have my kid do it. I'll have Will, who was in here earlier, Gamtang. I'll have him send me 4 samples. He's coming up this weekend. I'll have him pick 4 bottles and a George Dickel and pour them in and write it down and take it home with him. Packed 8. I think that, I don't know which one that is, honestly. That's a pretty good whiskey. That's pretty good. This is the H bottle. I'm going to put that in, is it better than the A bottle? Where was A? A was in A1. I don't know if it was better than A. I'm gonna put it right below A at this point, and then we're gonna take the top ones and go through them and make sure I get that order right, because it's like A and H. I really need to taste those back to back to really figure that out. So we're settled on these, and now we've got 3 more little bitties to go. We're rolling through this like professionals. What was I worried about? This is a fun little set. I like this little set. This is a really cool thing. If y'all don't blind whiskey, this set's going to be really cool. All right, so the I bottle, just don't do like I do and name everything with letters. That's just kind of dumb. A, I. So the problem is one of these is going to be Joseph. Look, we're going to have to figure out which of these are the expensive bottles here in a minute, and I'm just going to have to drink those after this whole charade is over. So I put the I bottle into A3. And I just broke my pen. All right, so I bottle's in A3. And then the J bottle is in B3. He's going to poison it now. There you go. I'm writing you out of the wheel, Will. Ooh, I almost rubbed the letter off of that one. And then we've got the G bottle for Gamtang, who's going to poison me. I hate that these little plastic things fall out of these caps. All right, so the G bottle is in C3. Now, let's see if we can. This is where it gets kind of complicated, just placing them in between all these others without going back and drinking them all. I like Booker's a lot, Jonathan. It's intense. Like the ones I have are super intense. The one I have right now on the bar, just it tastes like dirt and boiled peanuts, which doesn't sound like a good whiskey. So it's kind of it's not something I liked when I first tried it, but the more I drink it, the more I like it for sure. Dog went crazy. DKG, we're just ranking whiskeys. I was trying to say ranking and rating at the same time. Should have thrown the Basil Hayden Dark Rye in here. That's got a strong finish. It's not unpleasant, but it's not just better than a good bourbon. And that is A. So that is the I one. That's going to probably be down toward the bottom. The E bottle was in A2. I think I like it better than the A. Or the I, was it? A2 was E. I like it better than E, I think. Yeah. Just a touch. Not much. Not much. And I think that's the other Jeffersons right there, honestly. I think that's the other Jefferson. So that is A3. That is the I. I'm going to put it right up above E. Let's get some Dr. Pepper going. Should have been Basil. Okay, Yellowstone. I haven't picked out the Yellowstone yet. I think it's one of those that's rated a little higher. I haven't had too much. I just mince up words sometimes, man. I will have had too much before this is over with, but we're not there yet, man. We're not there yet. Not on this little crap. Come on, give me a break. I just mess up words sometimes. Now, the more I drink, the more I do mess up words, but it's like saying wild turkey Kentucky Spirit. Like I cannot say it. I messed it up there. I cannot say wild turkey Kentucky Spirit without trying to say, and I could be stone sober, like not had a drink in a week, and I can't say wild turkey Kentucky Spirit without putting extra effort into it. Because it just comes out wild tucky or wild Kentucky or something stupid like that. Can't do it. Yellowstone. Nate thinks the Yellowstone. I don't know. I don't know which one of these is the Yellowstone. I haven't picked that out yet. That one's throwing me for a loop. Is that the World Whiskey Society? Or is that the Yellowstone? That one's really pleasant. Super oaky. Almost like a Booker's or it's almost like a Jim Beam product. Almost kind of like that nutty, peanutty that I was talking about on the Booker's. That is B3. That is J. So that's going to be up here in the top 4 for sure. I'm going to put it second, but we're going to have to try that against the top 4 for sure. We're going to have to go back to the top 4. Try some bootleg. Oh, country boy, I'm far from it. It happens from time to time. Well, alcohol poisoning, that's a whole different level. I don't go there. Wild Turkey 101 is great and underrated. Matthew, make sure you caught up, though. We were talking about Turkey 101 a little while ago. I just want to make sure you're not behind. All right, so this is the last one. I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 9 down. So we've got a clear bottom. We've got a pretty clear top emerging and a pretty clear middle. So I don't really care. Like the worst one is obvious to me. The worst one is obvious. It's not even close. So I don't care to get the bottom exactly right, although I'm pretty confident in the bottom. I'm pretty confident in the bottom 3, maybe 4 so far. And then there's an obvious just middle of the road. And then there's 4 that I really need to go back through and make sure we get right. That one's pretty good. That's not unpleasant at all. but I'm not finding it great. That may be the Yellowstone. That may be the Yellowstone. Or actually, you know what? That's a Blood Oath, I think. I'm finding it good, but not exceptional. I need to compare that to F, who's just like the middle of the road. What was F in? D2. So D2 right here was F. I went through that list and I didn't see F. I was like, oh my God, did I just not even write down F? So this was F, which is our middle of the road bourbon. Is it better than our middle? I don't like, that's just kind of simple. It's not bad. It's sweet. It's got some pleasant flavor. It just doesn't stand out. Like, it's just fine. It's obviously a little lower on the proof scale. So it just doesn't do anything for me, but it's not like if somebody handed me that, that's a good, easy sipper. Mm. Don't drink a lot of rye. Well, I mean, we're not drinking rye. I don't drink a ton of rye either. Have you mentioned Yellowstone? Why do you keep saying Yellowstone, Nate? What am I missing? I'm just not sure that's better, though. This one is C3, so it's G. Right here. I'm not sure it's better. It's got a little more flavor going on, but the finish is a little stronger on it. And I'm not sure I like it any better than this just kind of really easy sipper here. It's got a little oakiness. It's got a little interest to it. Those are pretty close. I'm going to go with changing my mind. I'm second guessing stuff here. I'm going to go with this one over this one. So C3 is G. I'm going to put it right below it as the middle. So that gives us this really crazy order that I wished I'd have made some. How about that? Look at this. Look at this. We're gonna get crazy with it. We're gonna get crazy. We're gonna work on the fly here. I'm gonna show y'all how the sausage is made just a little bit here. We're gonna add an input. Let's see. I need a. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna add it so I can zoom in on this. And we're gonna set this up. We're going to add a layer to this view. What layer are we picking? We are going to try to pick the main camera, but Lord have mercy, are y'all way the heck away. So I can't see y'all at all. What is the name of... I can't see anything. Let's see. That one. Oh, that's the close-up cam. We could do the close-up cam. That might work. Let's see. Can I get it out there? Well, y'all can't see that crap. Y'all can't see that. Let's see, I'm going to zoom in even more. We're going to zoom. Okay. Okay. This is horrible. This is horrible. We're going to go with it, though. We're going to go with it. Right here. Look here. Look here. Quick play this sucker. Okay, so y'all can see my order right there. B, J, A, H, F, G, C, I, E, D. That's the order. That is our order. So what I'm going to do is go back to BJAH, and we're going to sort those and just make sure I've got those in the right order, and then we're going to call this a win. So bottle B is in B1. So right here, I'm just making sure I'm getting the right glass. B1 right there. And that is bottle B. Right here, bottle B. And then we've got J, which is in B3. Lord, why does it have to be in B3? So two B's. B3 right there, and that is J. And then A is in A1. So this guy here, A1, is bottle A. Lord, was it this one or that one? It was this one. And then H. So H is in B2. So it's going to be in these guys here in B. So we can get rid of all these glasses and we can find H, and it is here. So we are going to sort. These are the winners. These are my top 4, and we're going to figure out which is the best. This is very complicated. Very, very complicated. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. We get Shakespeare going here. Okay, B-J-A-H. Let's do this. Let's figure this out. We got to be careful here, though, because we got 2 B glasses. That can be 2 B glasses or not 2 B glasses. Oh, so what are the top 4? Y'all let me know what y'all think the top 4 are. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess the Joseph Magnus cigar blend is going to be in this. I'm going to guess that the World Whiskey Society is going to be in this. I think the Midwinter Night's Dram probably didn't make this. I'm going to bet it's one of the middle of the road ones. I'm going to be honest. I think it was probably G, if I had to guess. Angel's Envy is probably F. Down at the bottom, or the very bottom, is going to be the friggin' Starlight Amberata Barrel. 2 of the last 3 are going to be the Jeffersons. The third one at the bottom is going to be, could be the Yellowstone and maybe the 2 Blood Oaths, or it could be 1 Blood Oath and a Yellowstone up top, if I had to guess. If I had to guess. I don't have to guess, but mad science going on. So my drinking game created your drinking game. It's like drinking game Inception. That's an exceptional whiskey. Bottle B is an exceptional freaking whiskey. That's what I've got at number 1. And Lord have mercy, it's going to be hard to beat that. That is a good whiskey. Whichever one that is a good whiskey. I will go try to buy another one of those, whatever that is. My second one is J. You taste the finish much more strong on that. It has that nutty flavor to it, though. Like, which of these has the nutty flavor? Is that the Shoku barrels? Is that the World Whiskey Society jumping in there? It's really pleasant. The finish is not overly done, but you can tell it's finished whiskey for sure. Whereas with that one, there's just all sorts of wonderful things happening there. This is obviously a level below that to me. And it could be the proof difference, right? It could just be the proof difference. But this is still a pretty good whiskey. It's just not that one's level. So let's keep moving down the list here. Let's see if A and J. See, I smell this. This smells like the Yellowstone to me. It's got a strong finish. It could be a Blood Oath. I think it's a Blood Oath or a Yellowstone. It's good. I don't think it's better than that one, though. So I think I've got my order right. Right now, BJA. Recommended the channel to my friends. That's all I can ask for, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully your friends just like hanging out, having a good time, and don't take things too seriously. That's all we ask for, right? Don't be too serious. All right, so this is H. Definitely not better than B. Not better than J. We got a little battle here though. I'm not sure it's better than A. I'm not sure it's better than A. Not sure. Don't be a Richard, as Matthew says. Absolutely. Blinds are the best. Blinds are fun. So if y'all are not doing blinds at home, like that's why this whiskey kit's kind of fun. And I'm interested in giving it away. And I really want to give it away to somebody that doesn't do blinds so that they can, because blinds are fun. It's a lot of pressure. Like, take whiskeys you say you don't care for or they're okay, and then put one of your favorites in there and then blind it. It just blows your freaking mind that there's really not that much difference between what you say are your favorites and the ones you say are mediocre. There's not that much difference, and oftentimes you'll end up picking one you think's just an okay whiskey, and you've fallen for, you know, the hype or the marketing or the look of the bottle or something like that. So blinds are really fun because nothing else matters. And it's actually even more fun. I really want to do some soon where we don't even know what the bottles are, right? Right now, I'm like, oh, it's this one. Oh, it's that one. I'm trying to guess. Like, we're going to do some where I don't even know what the bottles are. That's even next level. Have somebody else pour them for you. Try Buffalo City Distillery. Awesome. You need to do, like, Rusty, seriously. It's a lot of fun. Pick a few. Pick 3, do a blind. Blue Corn? Haven't tried that, Anthony. That's really close. I'm having a hard time picking between those. I don't know if it matters, though. Right? This is A and H. These are kind of, you know, third and fourth. Yeah, exactly, Bubble Bath. Exactly. I need to have somebody come in here and grab a bottle and let's do a blind. Shamed by blinds? Exactly. Exactly. You just never know. Yellowstone for the win. Country. He's trolling you there, Nate. All right, I'm going to put H above A. The finish on that's just a little stronger, so I'm going to transpose those. And it is BJHAFGCIE and a D. So, the D is always last. Nobody likes a D. Kale, would you like to join my... Kale's not old enough, so got to be careful there. Oh, if y'all can't talk... Look, first of all, you got to be laid back, and you got to like sarcasm. If you don't like sarcasm, you don't like my videos anyway. So, you know, you're probably not going to be here. Again, if y'all are not in the Discord, we've got a Discord. Cheech posted the link earlier. I think he may have bounced. But we got a Discord. Make sure you're in that. We're having a lot of fun conversations over there. I actually jumped into an audio chat for about an hour while I was setting up for this live stream, but nobody joined me. So it's cool. Like, I get it. It was kind of, you know, right at the end of a working day or in the middle of a working day for a lot of y'all. But we're doing fun stuff over there. We're having a good time. We're talking about Lincolns. We're talking about... We played some whiskey game that I ruined the other day because I don't understand how games are played. Gam Tang dropped it in there for me. Appreciate that. Not having heartburn. See, well, Gam Tang is funny because I used to have a lot of gas problems when I drank bourbon back when I was in my 20s. So it could be a thing you just kind of grow out of. Could be hereditary. A lot of heartburn and gas problems just drinking whiskey. I don't know what it was. But by the time I hit 30, it was all gone. And then I could get drunk like a man. It leads to bad roads. Exactly. All the guardrails get broke. So let's look at, I want to find out what, I don't want to look too much. D. I'm looking for D. I'm trying to not see any of, okay. Oh, that's not, oh, she ordered them all weird. Okay. Yeah, D is obviously the Starlight. So D, the worst one, raise your hand if you picked the Starlight. I think I said one of the Jeffersons. If I'd have thought it through, I would have picked that Starlight. Because that thing is just, and I can understand how somebody might really like it, but it's very cinnamon forward. It is not my jam at all. And it's one of those things that could be an acquired taste, but it is just really, really cinnamon forward. Not my thing at all. Gamtang picked it. Best was Yellowstone, so you picked Yellowstone. Pick the Jeffersons. I thought the Jeffersons too. And I think the Jeffersons are coming up in the next 3. So I want to see what the E is. Let's look at, she wrote E. Okay, so E. Okay, so the Chateau is, and this was the one I thought may have been the worst. This is the second worst one right here. It's the Jefferson Chateau. Chateau Pinchon Baron French oak cask finished Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in Bordeaux wine barrels. 90 proof, 750 milliliters of god awfulness. The next one is I. And the second or the third worst one, Jefferson's Reserve Pritchard Hill Cabernet cask finish, blend of straight whiskeys, very, very small batch. Thank God they only made these in small batches, because I would hate if they made a lot of that shit. Yeah, so those are the 3. I didn't know exactly the order, although if I'd have thought about this guy being in there, I would have, because this is a little different. This one doesn't fit what we're actually doing here. Everything else is finished in a barrel that had some other drink in it at some point, and this one's just finished in like a really strong wood. So Yellowstone's still in it, Nate. Yellowstone's still in it. It's not gonna win. I promise you. I haven't looked, but I promise you the Yellowstone has not won. Now it's gonna do okay, I think, but it hasn't won. So what are we looking for? C. C is next, and this one was kind of below the average line for this group here. C. But it was high. It wasn't bad. This one wasn't bad, but it was worse than most of them. I mean, it's just an average line, right? We had 10. If it was below 5, it was below average. Have you seen the Jefferson's Ocean? 4 Jeffersons, but the regular small batch is good. Some of the Oceans have actually been really good, for sure. Needs to give me soap. Okay. She give me. She could just. She doesn't need to give. She doesn't need to give me soap. She could just bathe me. That may be too much for a 13-year-old. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. That's going too far. I crossed a line, and I'm sorry. I forget. I forget sometimes we got a young audience here. 80 plus viewers. 85 viewers. That's crazy. Now, I haven't looked. I'm looking at the letters. I'm just saying C is below average, but pretty good. But what is C? Yeah, that's probably about, honestly, that's probably where I would have put it. And some of y'all might put this higher. But the 4th one from the bottom is Midwinter Night's Dram. I find the finish on this just a little too strong for me. It's like the finish overwhelms the whiskey. And if you're really into like the finish and not the whiskey, then this is fine. But it really, and I want to try different acts and scenes. I don't know if it's all of them or this Act 5, Scene 7, or Scene 2. Act 7, Scene 2, sorry. Act 7, Scene 2. I don't know if it's just this expression, but the finish is just a little overwhelming. So the Yellowstone's still in it. Proper 12 is the greatest whiskey. Man, please. All right, so what are we up to now? Yeah, it's not my jam either. Not my jam either. Hey, Matthew, I appreciate you hanging out, man. It's been fun. 90, we're up to 90? What are we doing? We're down to 88. I only see 88. So anyway, it's still great. We're growing. It's good. Hopefully y'all are having a good time. We're doing a blind tasting if you just joined, and I am trying to figure out the winner of our blind tasting of all the 10 finished whiskeys I have on my shelf. So We picked 10, and they're not just finished. Like, we have some toasted barrels and stuff, but ones that have been finished in something that really imparts a lot of flavor. So cognac and wine barrels and things like that. So far, our worst has been the Amburana finished Starlight. I'm not a fan of. And then it has been was it the Cabernet finished? And then it was a couple of Jeffersons. One was Cab, one was something else. And then it was a Midwinter Night's Dram. So now we are to G. And G right here, G was like middle of the road. So G and F were middle of the road. Good, but as far as the ones we tried, they were very distinctly in the middle. We had 4 very clear winners. We had 3 very clear losers. And we had about 3 in the middle. Although I think the Midwinter Night's Dram was a little below this one. And this was Blood Oath Pact number 7. So Blood Oath Pact 7 was kind of in the middle, right? So luckily for Nate, the Yellowstone has survived thus far. The Yellowstone continues to survive. Kyle said the 14-year-old just walked in and recognized me. Dadgum. We're like Big Pimpin' now, aren't we? 14-year-olds are picking us up. That may not be good, but we're definitely doing pretty good on YouTube. I appreciate the props there. Hold on, Nate. The jar is being stubborn. What's going on, Stephen Hill? I appreciate you joining, man. We are doing a blind taste test of 10 different finished whiskeys. So I took 10 finished whiskeys, finished in wine barrels and all sorts of things, and I have ranked them, and we are revealing the results. And right now, we have released the bottom 5. And 5th from the bottom, 6 out of 10, was Blood Oath Pact number 7, which was fine. Like, this is in the drinkable, I enjoy it, not a problem with it, but I don't find it exceptional range amongst its peers here. The next one, number 5, and the last one I would consider kind of that middle tier. After this one, they get pretty good. So that middle tier was Bottle F. And Bottle F is Angel's Envy. Port finish right here. So the Yellowstone has survived to the upper tier, Nate. You were right. So what we've got left is the Yellowstone 101, limited release from 2021. We still have the World Whiskey Society Mizunara Shoku barrels. We still have Blood Oath Pact 6, and we still have Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. That's the top 4 right there. Go ahead, give me the ranking right now. What do y'all think? If I had to guess, I'm going to put the Magnus Cigar Blend number 1, because there was a clear number 1. And I think it's the Magnus. After that, I really don't know. I think H and A, the ones I were flipping around, I want to say one of them was the Mizunara Oak. And one of them, that Yellowstone and Blood Oath is going to be tough for me to pick out. I don't know which one was J and A. I really don't. Don't know. Yellowstone's not going to win this. I'm just telling you. The Yellowstone's not going to win. Like, if Yellowstone is J, if Yellowstone's number 2, that's a win. Because I really do feel like there was a clear number 1. There was a clear number 2. And then there was a couple that were pretty close, right? And then a big jump, or a decent-sized jump, to like 5th, and then a decent-sized jump to 6th, and then a huge jump down to the bottom, and then that god-awful thing in the basement with the Amburana barrels. Saucy, what's going on? Only the blinds will tell. Let's move up. Let's continue. We are now at A. What is A? A, which is number 4 on our list, Blood Oath Pact number 6. Blood Oath Pact 6. My dusty bottle of Blood Oath Pact number 6 right here has come in at number 4. If this Yellowstone wins, I'm never going to live this shit down. I'm never going to live it down. I hope it's not going to. There's no way. There's no way the Yellowstone wins. At this point, I hope it does. God, that would be awesome. That would be awesome if the Yellowstone wins. Cheats in the house. McWhiskey. Hey, I appreciate everybody hanging out, man. We're at 90 folks. That's awesome. That's the most we've had on this YouTube stream since we've started doing it, I think. I don't think we've ever been over 90. Definitely haven't been over 100. If you haven't, give me a thumbs up on the video. That would help a lot. Maybe they'll push it to a few more folks. I'd love to have 100 folks hanging out here. That would be great. Alex Slaughter says drink. Well, we've already done all the drinking. Like, Lord have mercy. We've been through 10 whiskeys already. Give me a little bit of time here, man. I'm trying to reveal the results. The Yellowstone is pretty good. The Yellowstone is pretty good. It's not, I'm Team Yellowstone too, but there's no way. There is 0% chance, a 0% chance that Yellowstone beat Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. This didn't happen, people. It didn't happen. If it happened, I can't lie to you, but I'm going to have to delete this live stream after it's over with. I'm going to have to get rid of it. Better with a cigar? I like it. I don't know, Matthew. This one I've got, this is the only one I've ever had, but I dig it, right? Well, I didn't write it down, Alex. My wife wrote it down, and, you know, we can argue with her if she got it wrong. But, like, just tasting it, I'm pretty sure it's the high-proof Magnus Cigar Blend. Like, when I was tasting it, I was like, this tastes like the cigar blend. Like, when I like something, I usually remember that flavor. So, let's get to... What are we on? Are we on H? Are we on number 3 right now? Is that what we're at? Number 3, H. And this did really well. It stood out. It did good. But I've got some bad news for y'all. I was on Team Yellowstone, but Yellowstone came in a distinct third. It was third. That is a very, like, the top 4 were good whiskeys. The top 4 I really like. So Blood Oath 6 and Yellowstone, I've really liked those. And honestly, I think the World Whiskey Society has done better than I thought it would do. It really has done better than I thought it would do. But this one has done really good. Put some Pepsi on it. We might try that in a minute. I really think that World Whiskey Society is going to be good on some Pepsi. So that if I had to pick my top 2, going in, the Magnus was a clear favorite from the beginning. Second was really up for grabs. I thought maybe the Blood Oath 6, but I don't know. I thought this one would do well. I really did think this one would do well. I'm not sure I thought it would be top 2. Honestly. So what we've got left is Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. Now, I remember the one I put first was a really high proof whiskey. This guy's 126 proof of awesome deliciousness. How high proof is this guy? 15 years, and they don't tell me the proof. They got to tell me the proof. Is it on the back? I can't even freaking read it. It's so small. All the print's really small. Don't put too much text on your shit. You know, I got to be able to read it. Okay, so it's 102 proof. Like, it's got some proof to it. But I like, there's no way this guy won. There's no way this guy. It's got to be 1-2. It's got to be 1-2. And that's giving props to this guy. I mean, if y'all saw the video I did on this guy, I immediately regretted that purchase. I thought this was like this bottle cost twice as much as this bottle. I paid twice as much for this bottle as this bottle. 2x. And it lost. I think. Well, we ain't checked it yet. But I'm thinking it's going to lose to this guy. Now, it wins the stopper game. That freaking stopper. Like, hold on just a second. Hold up. Let me show y'all that stopper right there. Let me show y'all that stopper. Let's look at this right here. Let's get some stopper action going on, okay? We're going to zoom in like this right here, and I'm going to show y'all. We're going to let's pull it off. Look. Samurai head stopper right there. Look at that. I don't know if it's in focus, but Samurai head stopper is game-changing stopper. Like, that's A+ stopper right there, you know. It's got this cool metal samurai head samurai helmet head. That's pretty freaking good. But I don't think it wins the whiskey war here. We'll see. So the winner's B. Second is J. So J, second, is the World Whiskey Society. And the winner B is the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. What's up, Ava? So that right there are your winning pair, this being number one, this being number two. This held up really well. It's a 15-year-old whiskey. The Shoku barrels are really nice, adds a nice flavor to it. Let me remember what glasses these are in because I want to try them again. So B1, this was bottle B in B1. This was the winner right here. This is our Magnus. And this is J. So bottle J right here. These are our winners, clear as day. Can't deny. Undeniable winners. Heavyweight champion of the world. Anybody surprised by that, really? Other than Nate, apparently? The stopper is like the RGB lighting graphics on your graphics card. Hey, honestly, though, third that's respectable in this lineup. Like if you come in third to a bottle like Joseph Magnus and a bottle that costs twice as much as Joseph Magnus, and then you're third, that's pretty freaking good. Like, I'll be honest. That's pretty freaking good. I need to pick up another one of those. Not surprised. I'm still learning. Okay. How do you wash your glasses? We've got like first of all, they're all hand washed. They're all hand washed, but I've got like a bottle jet on the, I can't show it on this setup. I mean, I guess I could on my phone. I'll show you how I wash my glasses. I got to pull up the phone cam here. Now, the sink is a little bit of a mess. I was over there washing some stuff earlier. All right, so let's see if we can switch to phone cam. And I can show you all sorts. Look at it, phone cam. Look at this. And now y'all can see. We can show y'all this in great detail now. Oh, we just saw a child running up the stairs. That's how you see that. But this is how we wash our bottles. You can see I've got some over here drying, but you hand wash them, right? And then you put them in this guy. Right? And it just jets them, and it gets all the crap out, and then you rinse them out. And then we have a nice drying mat over here for them to dry. Now, I use a little soap when I do that, but y'all can see my chicken scratch here. And the whole setup, like, we're getting all super official and stuff. Y'all see it's a mess over here. You see, Buffalo Trace sent me that. They asked me if I wanted some swag. I was like, heck no, send me a pewter buffalo. So they sent me all of that. That was kind of fun. Live in the future. That's right. Phone cam. I don't have a dish. Like, these don't really do well in the dishwasher. I wanted to hand wash them, so I didn't put a dishwasher down here. I kind of wish I had, to be honest. I would probably be lazy enough some nights just to throw them in a dishwasher. But I just do them. This one actually works really good. So this sprayer works really good. I'm having a problem. I don't think they caulked the underside. So it's an undermount sink. I don't think they caulked it. So when I use it, it runs over its edge and over the edge of the sink, and it leaks a little bit. So I put a little caulk under there, and I haven't been able to use it since I had it put in. It's been put in for about 6 months, and I haven't really been able to use it much. I finally got in here and caulked it real good and I just haven't tested it yet. I've been using it. I just haven't tested it. I'm pretty sure the caulk solved the problem, though. Yeah, Vince, no problem. How many bottles? Behind me, there's probably, I don't know, we've been buying a lot of bottles for videos lately. Now that we've been kind of taking off on YouTube, we've been spending a little recklessly on bottles. If I had to guess, 230 or so. Between here and what's in storage behind me, there's like a closet. If you see the wide shot, there's like a closet that runs this whole room that has just like shelves and stuff in it. So it's the whole width of the bar behind me there. It doesn't have a ton of bottles in it, but between what we've been buying and that, it's got to be 230, 250, something like that. Throw a bottle of Blanton's to catch the trip. A caulk aficionado. Nice. Nothing caulk can't. Hey, see, here's the thing about most of this stuff on this house. I'm not great. Like, I'll show y'all like some of my handiwork. It's kind of a mess back there right now. I probably shouldn't try to show y'all, but we're going to switch to this cam. And see, I've started adding on. The bar wasn't enough, so we had a little doorway here, so I've opened it up, and I've created a room back there that's going to have like a fridge and more bottle storage. So we'll have shelves all around those, and there'll be a door. That's all unfinished space back there, and so we'll have like some unfinished space for storage and stuff. So I've started working on this drywall. I framed all this up. I'm waiting for the electricians to run stuff. So we'll hang a TV over here and do a bunch of stuff. And I'm not great at the work, but I'm really great at hiding my mistakes. I'm really good at wood filler. I'm pretty good at sanding drywall and stuff. And just, eventually I'm just really slow. But I get the job done. And honestly, when I'm done, it's usually better than most experts will do because I'm not on some timetable to get the job done in a day. Yeah, Rusty, I've tried Four Roses single barrel. I like Four Roses single barrel. I especially like the single barrel strength. I've got a bottle up there that is really exceptional. But the Four Roses stuff's great to me. It depends on the mash bill, and I don't know which mash bill tastes like what. I'm not that sophisticated with it, but when I've had a good mash bill of Four Roses, I love it. Last time I caulked something, I caulked the door shut. It's a pretty cool bourbon cab. I've enjoyed it. Like, I've been very lucky. We bought, and some of y'all may not know. I forget a lot of y'all are kind of new around here, but we're kind of new around here on YouTube. We bought this really old house. It's like, say really old. It's from the 70s, but we bought it from the original owner. He passed away at 101, so he really hadn't done anything to the house. It's original to 1974. So we've really been, like, this whole bar was just closets, and we tore them all out and built this bar. So it's been fun, but it's been a lot of work. Maybe too much work. We probably bit off a little more than we can chew there. Yeah, Kyle, let me know when we get it all done. Well, honestly, we ain't got to be completely done, but I'm hoping the electricians come next week, finish that up, so I can finish all the drywall in the next couple of weeks and get it done. But we'll have you over. My caulk game is tight. Work in the logging business, I understand that. Hey, caulk is about having a good caulk gun. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's important because, see, if you don't have a good caulk gun, it applies constant pressure, and then caulk just leaks, or you end up with too much of it. You need a caulk gun that doesn't apply pressure unless you're pulling the trigger. No joke. That's important. I went through like 4 of them before I finally found a good one. The deer stands still. Still stands. I got you. And doesn't stand still. It still stands. We don't have avocado bath fixtures, but honestly, this bathroom right here is green. It is a green bathroom. So we have most of them, like the one in every bedroom has its own bathroom. So down here, there's 2 bedrooms. The one in the back there has a white bathroom, but it's really small with no shower. This one, like right beside the bar, it's like partially in the bar and then it goes into the bedroom. It's kind of a weird setup. It's green, but it's in perfect shape. It's not really avocado green, but it kind of is. It's not like super 70s green, but it's green, but it's perfect shape. Nobody, like this guy who built this house, this is a huge house. He was 55 years old. Kids were grown and moved out. So nobody ever came downstairs. So this bathroom's barely been used till we bought it. It had a lot of wallpaper and a lot of pink wallpaper, but thank God none of the bathrooms were pink. The master's pretty bad. We got to gut that, but we haven't got there yet. It has, like, this house was in the 70s. The master bathroom has a bidet and a sunken tub. So the tub is like ground level. So you walk in and you got to like step down into the tub, and then it has a tiny little shower that leaks. Waiting for Jill to come down and comment on the caulk facts. Hey, Jill. Jill. Would you step down here on the landing for a second, please? I don't know if y'all be able to. Do I have any lawnmowers for sale? No, mine's good, man. My lawnmower's good. Doesn't come with Weller if I did. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear her. I don't know if you'll be able to hear her. I'm gonna turn the microphone. Will you step right here? The chat wants to know. They can't see you, but I'm turning the microphone. The chat wants to know if I am indeed good at caulking and covering up my mistakes.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, and that was a yes for y'all that didn't hear. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good am I at covering up all the mistakes by the time a project's done?
1 to 10.
Yes, it's very important.
10.
You think I'm a 10? Ava gives me a 10.
I'd say a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
So a 9.
There's always room for improvement, but a 9.
There's always room for improvement, but a 9, in case you didn't hear it. So, good at covering up mistakes. Yeah, they're not mistakes. They're character building features.
Am I done now?
You're done. That's all I needed. Thank you very much. Oh, dude, that in-ground tub is dangerous, man. And right now we got a problem. I got to call a plumber tomorrow. If any of the plumbing clogs up upstairs, that tub is lower than any of the toilets or anything, so everything just backs up into it if we have any plumbing problems. And this is a 50-year-old house that's barely been used. There's always plumbing problems. Got that A-tier caulk. I'm very good. It's like my wife says I'm good with the caulk. Why is Ken's message not showing? What did Ken say? Let me check. I'm going to check Ken's message. It just says message retracted. I think he deleted the message. Either that or some mod got him. Happy accidents, exactly. Typical wifey response? I don't know. Mine will give me shit if I'm bad at it. I'm going to be honest with you. She's not going to sugarcoat it. If she thought I was terrible, I'm pretty handy. Like, Kyle, you come over next time. We'll come in the house. I'll show you some of the projects. I'm a caulksmith. My fault for leaving it where she could get to it. I understand that. Show's taking a turn. I'm sorry. We'll get it back on track. So what's everybody pouring? What should I pour now? We're done with this. And I did not make a fool of myself. I did not consume too much, arguably. And the one that I thought should win won. So, if anybody that really knows what they're talking about watches this, they can't give me too much crap about it. Yeah, that tub's kind of crazy. We never used it. Like, we haven't used the master in this house at all, pretty much, since I think Jill may have used the tub once when we first moved in. Yeah, I enjoy her being in the live. Wednesday, she's always busy on Wednesday. She just got home. I'm going to try to get her in some of the Monday live streams, so hopefully she'll be able to do that. Any light whiskey on my shelf? I do not think I have any light whiskey. I've been sent a few samples of light whiskey, but I don't think I own any at all. 10 Cup Rye. First pour was a Little Book 6, an Old Elk store pick. Nice. Flip a bottle? Does that make you happy? Is that good, Zach? Did that work? We need a Lincoln update. So I bought the Lincoln. I bought a 1972 Lincoln Continental. Went up to South Carolina to pick it up. I couldn't get a rental car. So I rented a U-Haul. I got the smallest U-Haul. They wouldn't offer me a truck or a van. So I got the smallest box truck they had. No adjustability in the seat. It sat straight up right over the pedals. It was miserable for 6 hours it took us to get to where we were going in South Carolina. So I bought the car and drove it home. And I've been driving, my truck is attached to a trailer. I haven't even got it off the trailer because I've been driving this Lincoln everywhere. And been having a good time with it. It's got some problems. It's not a perfect car. We're going to work those problems out. The first problem was the problem I have. The biggest problem is it's made out of a bunch of unobtainium parts. Like nobody makes parts for 72 Lincoln Continental. But I found a company that sells a lot of new old stock parts. So that's parts that were new. They're new parts, but they're from 1972 when people actually made parts for the car. Original Ford parts from 1972. The thing has bad weather stripping on the front windows. So it makes a lot of noise if you roll the windows up, which you don't want in a Lincoln. Ordered those. They came in today. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow, really probably maybe Friday, I get out there and I install that weather stripping. And then the car is pretty good at that point. The window antenna, the up and down switch on the antenna, it's got a power antenna, didn't work. Me and a friend took that apart and rebuilt it. Works like a champ. The window switch on the driver's side is a little like it's a 4-window switch, so it controls all the windows, and it's a little iffy. So it works sometimes it don't. So we got some work there. Other than that, it's a lot of little small things. Like the car runs great. It's pretty awesome condition. Buy a box truck for trapping. Okay. A trapping shack? New to bourbon, I know about the neck pours. There's such a thing as a butt pour. I mean, there kind of is, Ken, honestly. A bottle of Penelope Toasted, and the neck was rough, and the middle was great, but the end is horrible. It just, like, really with the butt pour, with the end of it, like, nobody calls it a butt pour, but it's, if the bottle gets super empty and it sits around for a while, it can get kind of oxidized. That's all that I would say by that. But honestly, if it was that different from the middle to the last pour and it wasn't an old bottle, I would say the difference is probably you. What you ate, what you drank, what mood you were in, probably the difference in those flavors. 95 Ford F-150. That's like the bullnose Fords, right? Hold on, what'd you say? Bring it to the Fox Run. Honestly, Pew, I'm thinking about going to Fox Run on Saturday. I really am. I'm trying to do a video about getting a bottle of Blanton's. So I'm thinking about not going to Donahue and Auburn, and I'm thinking about going to Fox Run. I'm not sure yet, but I really am considering that. It's from the 70s. It's a beautiful car, and it's in great shape for being 50 years old, for sure. Got some old tub, Lauren, with the old tub. It is a 4-door. We debated a coupe, and again, if you're not in the Discord, I don't know if Gamtang's here, can drop the Discord, or if Cheech is still around, but we've got a Discord, and we had a channel where I literally posted everyone for sale in the United States that was interesting. And I settled on a 4-door just because some of the cool ideas we want to do with it eventually, like maybe some content creators, road tripping, and doing some fun stuff, the 4-door is a little more practical. 67 Fairlane. Nice, man. That's awesome. The Fairlane you probably could get parts for. I'm not sure, though. Yeah, Classic Industries does not sell parts for this Lincoln, unfortunately. Nobody does. That you can get parts for the the 60s Lincolns, the Suicide Door Continentals, you can get parts for. And some of the 75 and ups you can get parts for. But that 70 to 75... How long before something oxidizes? If it's super empty, it could happen in months. But if it's got a lot of whiskey in it, as long as you keep that cork tight, it takes years. Extended cab station wagons. Some call it a hearse. Nothing wrong with that. All right, country boy. Yeah, Cheats dropping the Discord for me there. So if you want to see the Lincoln, we've got it over on Discord. Oh, yeah, great variety. Like, I took the Lincoln out last night for about a 2-hour run. We ran up to Alex City, other side of Alex City to my brother's house, and then drove it back. Now it's dirty because it's got all those freaking bugs on the front of it, but I got to wash it tomorrow because I've got to finish the video. We're doing a video. We're going to do a long-form video here. As long as all the audio and everything worked out that I recorded on the way up there, we're going to drop a video in the next week or so about me going and obtaining this Lincoln. So, and some of the fun things we're going to try to do with it. I have not tried a lot of any of the Kirkland stuff. We just don't have a Costco. The local Costco is 45 minutes away. And we more Sam's Club folks just because there's one like 10 minutes away. Not too bad for parts on the Fairlane. I used to have a Galaxy 500, kind of similar. I think mine was right in there. I don't remember the exact year. It's been a while. 83 like we looked at some 80s cars like that though, and they're really cool if they're in great shape. You know, if they're just like an 80s car that nobody cares about anymore, but then they're like brand new, it's kind of fun. Really is. 82 C10. Nothing wrong with that at all. I've got a 72 F100 myself. I'm going to restore here pretty soon. I say pretty soon. We're starting on a Volkswagen Beetle. My oldest daughter wants a Beetle for her first car, so she and I are going to start restoring that as soon as I can get some junk cleared out. So the next couple of months, we're going to try to be working on that. Try to finish it by next summer, and then as soon as that's done, we start on the F100. Those love bugs hurt the paint. I think it'll be all right. I've only had midwinter. I didn't even check the poll. How did the poll go? Like, is everybody cheating now? And so 37%, 38%, like, woo, Joseph Magnus barely beat out other. We're going to end the poll. Well, I should have ended the poll a little earlier, but y'all got it right. You got it right. Nothing's better than a 60s Beetle. Yeah, she rolling at a 67 and older. So we got a 67 Beetle, and it's going to be fun. I need another pour. What am I drinking? Y'all pick something. What am I going to try here? Oh, we'll hang out now for just a few more minutes. I've got to get up in the morning and get some work done. I got to wash the car. I literally got to wash the car to finish this video. And then we got to shoot some stuff for work tomorrow. So that's Weller Antique 107 would be good. Cheapest bottle I own, Garbage Man, with the cheap stuff. I'm not a huge, I literally just did every finished whiskey I have that's finished in some sort of wine barrel, bubble bath. The clear version of Old Tub. That's hard to pass up, Alex. That's hard to pass up. It's not clear anymore. So for those that don't know, we did this on a live stream previously, and we took Old Tub and we distilled all the alcohol out of it. So this is like 160 proof Old Tub, just the whiskey. And then we took and we put, see if I can zoom in on that again. Or maybe I can go to this cam so I can show y'all what we're doing here, right? See if I can, okay. So we've got we put like an oak spiral in there, and it has been aging, but it's super high proof. So if we're going to do it, we're going to have to cut it down a little bit. Like, I really need to water it down. So it's a little hot, but we do need to try it. The DIY Elijah Craig Barrel Proof? What is that? McWhiskey, take it easy. I appreciate it. 4:30 is super early. Like I said, we're going to have to call it here in just a minute anyway. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I mean, we still got 56 folks hanging out. We were up to, over 90? That's awesome. You know, folks tend to drop when we start just, getting a little crazy. Hey, the direct link invite to Discord has expired. I created a link today that did not expire. Let me check and see. We need to make, Will, if you're in here, Gamtang, if you're in here, we need to make sure we're creating and spreading links that don't expire. It's just a checkbox when you set up a link, apparently. But let me open up Discord, and I will drop an updated link in there. I don't know why they expire, but invite people, link to never expire, copy, and then let me get back to the live stream here. And there is the Discord link that should never expire. So the night is still young. All right, we're going to try this really high proof, but now watered down Old Tub nonsense. It's actually getting better. It's still worse than Old Tub, though. It's just bitter oak. You get no real sophistication. It's just bitter oak. Like, this is not good for whiskey. The spirals, the small barrels, it does not help whiskey. It makes it worse. I'm telling you, it's just oak flavor. It's not, I'm not looking for just more oak flavor in a whiskey. I'm looking for all sorts of subtlety and nuance, and this just makes it worse. It just makes it worse, man. So what we're going to try to do here soon is I want to do what's called, like, I don't even know if I should say this after the whole caulking, like, side train we had going on here, but it's called jacking, from like Applejack cider, right? It is basically where you take, and it's a distilling, it's probably one of the oldest distilling processes, where you basically take it and you freeze everything out of the alcohol, because alcohol freezes at a colder temperature. You freeze it, and the water and flavor freezes, but the alcohol does not. And then you strain the alcohol out to concentrate it. So we're going to take a bourbon and we're going to do that process to it. And I'm going to need like dry ice, and we're going to have to do a whole thing to experiment with that. But we want to try that and see if we can concentrate the flavors of a bourbon. So basically freeze the alcohol out of it, take what's left over, and put it back into that bourbon, into a fresh bottle of that bourbon, and see if that enhances the flavors. Like, we just want to try dumb things like that. Somebody in the Discord posted that we should run it through a Brita filter and see what happens. I agree. That Crown Vanilla is way too sweet. We got a video coming out on Crown Vanilla. I thought the Crown Vanilla and the Glencairn was actually better than the apple and the peach, but it's still super sweet. Store the old tub outside in the heat. You can't make old tub better. It's already perfect. Are we being serious, or are we serious with old? Like, I mean, old tub's fine, but you know, I don't know about perfect. The vanilla. Are you talking about the Crown Vanilla there, Rusty? Non-chill filtered. Well, non-chill filtered is where they filter it but don't chill it. They don't cool it down, right? Because cold can affect the flavors. The jacking is literally like distilling, so it's literally concentrating the alcohol out of whatever it's in. Now, typically you don't do it for something as high proof as bourbon, right? They're going to make a cider out of it, so you're going to get just a few percentage alcohol points out of that. But we're trying to do something that's 80 proof and then concentrate that into a higher proof whiskey. So we'll see. Like, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm interested. So we'll take a bottle, and then so we're going to probably get like Ancient Age or something like that, like something cheap, not wonderful. And then we're going to take a bottle, and that'll be the control bottle. And then we'll have a bottle that's going to be our mixer. And then I'm going to distill all the alcohol out of one bottle. And then I'm going to try to concentrate all the flavors out of another bottle. So we'll have a concentration, we'll have all the alcohol, and then we'll have a normal bottle. And then we'll take the proof up, see if we can take the proof up to 107 proof or so, and then concentrate the flavors to see if we can't make something that is better than a Blanton's or something like that. It will cost more than a Blanton's to do all of this, but it's just a fun experiment we're going to play around with. Country Boy's back. If I need a good burn barrel or fire pit, I may. DKG, are you in the Discord? Join the Discord. Hit me up. I need a good fire pit. Yeah, absolutely, Katie. It was a pleasure meeting you as well. I've been doing fantastic. You know, we're enjoying YouTube here. We've had a pretty good stream. We tried 10 different finished whiskeys, which was probably a little too much. And we came to the conclusion that Joseph Magnus is the superior finished whiskey on my shelf, for sure. What mixes good with Crown Peach? Sweet tea. Go get some Milo sweet tea, pour that in some Crown Peach, and have a good time. That's what you're looking for, Jess. That's the answer you're looking for. You ever try whiskey from anywhere else in the world? I have not tried any Australian whiskey. I really want to do some Japanese whiskey stuff. So when I've been going out to bars, I've been trying a little bit of Japanese whiskey, but I really haven't found anything that I liked yet. So I'm still kind of just dabbling in it a little bit. I don't like going to a bar and ordering bourbon, especially when I go and I pay the same amount for a pour that I paid for a bottle that's sitting on my shelf of the exact same whiskey. So I usually try something I try something I don't have. And so Japanese whiskeys is what I've been pouring. Lord, it's been a long day. Yeah. So Alex, what I would like, that Eagle Rare is exactly what I want to do. I want a 107 proof Eagle Rare. Now we're gonna start with whiskey that's a little easier to get. So we're not going to start with Eagle Rare, but I've got a few bottles of Eagle Rare in the back that I'm willing to sacrifice for this experiment. But I've got to prove that the experiment stands a chance of working. So what I want to do is do that and make it really good. Like, honestly, the ideal thing would be, can we make an Eagle Rare better than an Eagle Rare 17? And then we take a sample of Eagle Rare 17 and Eagle Rare, and we drive it to another bourbon YouTuber, and we try to get their review, and we just try to get them to say that ours is better. Like, that would be fun. That's a fun thing, right? We're probably not going to. Like, the odds are stacked against us on that, but it would be fun to do. So we want to run experiments. I'm open to any experiments anybody has that we think would make a whiskey better, but I just don't think putting it in a smaller barrel or anything like that would work. And it's not something I can put it in a barrel and wait 10 years for. The Stewart brand is good throughout. Interesting. I haven't tried that. Some icebox get up to like 15%. Yeah, well, I mean, it will, but you got to get colder bubble bath. So when you're trying to do that, it will. Like, we can do more than 80%, but we've got to get it super cold. So I might have to go get like dry ice. I can't do it in a freezer at the house. We're going to have to step it up a notch. You can't make something better than Blanton's. What's the best whiskey for your dollar? If you're just trying to have a good time and enjoy a good whiskey, get an Evan Williams bottle in bond. Get the Old Forester 86 proof. Old Forester 100 proof, even better. Wild Turkey 101's $25, right? So there's a lot of really good affordable bourbons out there. So Kyle, so I literally talked to him last Thursday. So for those that don't know, I'm talking to the owner of John Emerald Distillery here in Opelika, who happens to be my neighbor. And we're talking about buying an entire barrel. I'm going to have to find 100 people. We'll see if I can find 100 people, because it's going to be costly. It's going to cost a couple $100 a piece. But we're going to go in and buy a barrel. He's got a grower that's growing him some heirloom grains, and he is going to take those grains, he is going to distill them in and put them in 53-gallon barrels, and he is going to create a bottle and bond whiskey, which requires a minimum of 4 years of aging. We want to go in at the onset and buy a barrel, and then maybe once a year we can tap that barrel and do a tasting, have a little, meet up or get together or something here in Opelika. And then honestly, after the first one, he said he was open to us picking any mash bill we want, and him just making us custom barrels. Like, we could pick any mash bill, he'll make it, we could age it for as long as we want. And right now, what he said on that first barrel is that he has talked to Alabama ABC, because Alabama's crazy, and the ABC board here is, pretty strict on things. He has talked to them, and they were meeting last Thursday. He said they were going to have a meeting, and they were going to, decide the fate of that program, but he expected it to be approved. And so I don't know exactly the specifics of what's going to come from that, but it looks like that's going to be approved, and it looks like it could be approved fairly soon. Now, he's putting in a new still to be able to do 53-gallon runs of bourbon, and that's supposed to be delivered sometime in Q4, November, something like that. So it looks like it's going to be early next year at the earliest, maybe December, but probably early next year for us to be able to do that barrel. We'll see. But after the first one, we can do all sorts of crazy things. So I ran the idea by him of possibly having a custom mash bill, having him make it, drop it in a barrel for us, me storing it in the trunk of a Lincoln Continental and driving it around for 2 years. I might have to stiffen the springs, but we could drive it around like Jefferson's Ocean, but it's just like in a Lincoln Continental, which is super smooth. It's not going to slosh a ton except for like braking and accelerating. But like, there's some legality problems in Alabama, and I really don't want to go to jail or have my barrel confiscated. So we're working on those things. But there has been progress. But it looks like it might be it's Q4 at the earliest for sure. So a few months for sure. But it might be early next year before we can do it. Did me and my buddy ever make? We went to South Carolina to buy the Lincoln, but I haven't been to North Carolina. Yeah, Alex, that's what we're working on. We're still working on that. Okay. I'm trying to catch some of the chat here. All right, I'm a little behind. I apologize if I missed some going on that conversation there. Yeah, I'll definitely keep y'all posted there, Kyle. I'm interested. It's going to be fun. Bodega cats, interesting. Yeah, Alabama alcohol in Alabama is kind of nuts. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can figure it out. Yeah, well, braking and accelerator, but like you hit a bump, there's nothing in that Lincoln Continental. There are no bumps in a Lincoln Continental. But I could stop fast. I don't know. We've got to figure it out. Like it may lower the rear of the car. It is like 600 pounds in the trunk of a car. But looking at the trunk of this car I bought, I'm fairly confident it's going to fit. He doesn't have any 53-gallon barrels yet, but as soon as he gets some, I'm going to drive up there and we're going to stick one in the trunk. And I may go buy one just to stick in the trunk to see if it fits for sure. Trace Young, what's going on, man? I'm doing pretty good. Is Crown Peach better than Evan Williams Peach? I don't know. We're going to do some tests on that. We're going to start buying some flavored bourbons. Evan Williams, the Jim Beam, Red Stag, and stuff like that. We're going to start testing those. Now, I did buy the Old Camp Peach Pecan Whiskey right here, this guy. And I thought that this was better. Now, I haven't mixed it with anything yet, but as far as just drinking it neat, I thought this was better than the Peach Crown Royal. I'll give them that. It's not great. It's not great whiskey, but I thought it was better than Peach Crown. Appreciate it, Alex. Appreciate it. We're about to call it here in just a second. What's the reasoning behind a 72 Lincoln Continental? I'm just weird, man. Realistically, it was one of those things where I want an old car, and I've got a few cars, but none of them are like ready to ride and hit the road. So I want to build the ultimate bourbon hunting vehicle. So we want to take the trunk, we want to deck it out with like storage pockets for bourbon and different stuff. I wanted to road trip. My wife really loves to travel. I like to drive places. I hate flying. I will fly. I don't like it. So I wanted to road trip. We used to road trip. We spent an entire month road tripping the year before COVID, 2019, and we really liked that. So we want to do more road tripping stuff. And I want something that's fun to drive. Like I just want something that gets a lot of attention, that's really fun. Also something that could just kind of be a character in some of the content we create. And kind of be a centerpiece for some of the fun stuff we want to do like driving to look for bourbon is fun. Driving to look for bourbon in a 72 Lincoln Continental, more fun, hopefully more entertaining. So, it's just, and why 72? There's no reason. I wanted a Lincoln. I really love the suicide door Lincolns. I want something big, comfortable, that we could drive anywhere and fit the whole family in, no problem. The 60 models with the suicide doors are the ones I really love. But the price of those are just beyond what I can reasonably afford at this point without derailing some other project at this house. The 70 models are kind of nice, but really in the late 70s, they get the like radiator style grills on them and they get really formal. I'm not a formal guy. I want something fun and quirky, and those early 70s Lincolns just kind of fit that. So that's kind of why we settled on those. I mean, I'm not a Cadillac guy. Like Cadillac is kind of big, formal, mainstream. Lincoln is just more oddball and quirky, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So hopefully that explains it, but it's just a long story how I got to. So I was looking at anything 70 to 74 that was fun colors. I didn't want like something that was black or red. My wife didn't want red. So we just, ended up on it. Oh, no, Bubble Bear. We're absolutely going to do a barrel, do a video on if the barrel fits. And if it'll go long ways, like, the side to side in the car, I think it'll fit in there. But if it'll go front to back, if it'll fit down in that well, and I don't think it will. But even if it doesn't, if it kind of rides in that well a little bit, there's a chance we could get 3 or 4 barrels in that trunk. No joke. If it'll go this way and sit and allow you to close the lid, like if it just sits enough into that trunk well, almost guaranteed to get 3, maybe get 4 for sure. So that's going to be a fun video. So that's why I really need 4 just in case, because that's going to be interesting. Now, you could never put 4 fully loaded barrels in the trunk just based on weight, though, unless I put air ride or something on it. I have a Frontier. If you need us. Yeah, well, that's honestly the concern with putting a barrel of whiskey in the trunk of a Lincoln is the barrel is worth more than the Lincoln. So just leaving it somewhere, like you just drive it to dinner and you leave it, that's a little scary when you've got an $11,000 or $12,000 barrel of whiskey in the back. I haven't had the Bardstown Collaborative Series. Don't know by. Oh, it is like floating on air in that Lincoln. Like it just absorbs every road bump. It's so smooth. It's so fun to drive. It's like therapy. You've got to pay just enough attention because it's big and it floats all over the road. So you've got to pay just enough attention, but it's just so relaxing and soothing. Cruise control, like it's just a wonderful, wonderful car. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate it. And glad to help. Thoughts on the Nulu Toast? I need the Nulu Toasted. I have not had the Sagamore Rye Cask Strength. I didn't even know there was a Sagamore. A lot of folks have told me I need to try Sagamore Rye, so I'm going to pick one up. Kind of give off a Rick and Bubba vibe here, but more drinks. Hopefully, DKG, that's a good thing. Am I Rick or am I Bubba? I don't know. Which one am I? I used to listen to them a lot when I was in the car a lot, but I probably haven't listened to them in a decade. Got an idea you could do as a channel, so a whole new channel, Rusty says. We can do a barrel blend, so we take bottles and dump them, people buy in, and there are a certain number of spots. That's what we're doing. Like right now we're going to buy a barrel, and then we can, do a certain number of spots to buy in. Now we could buy multiple barrels and blend them. We could do our own blends and stuff. I don't know if that's another channel. I think we could do that on this one, but yeah, we want to start being able to produce our own stuff and have some fun with it. It's not super easy and it costs a lot of money. And so I got to be able to do that. And you'll see a lot of them. You'll see a lot of folks doing that. I think the bourbon junkies are far enough along where they could do their own label. And I think they may be. I don't have any inside information, but I think they may be working on their own label. The guy at John Emerald said, if I wanted to pay for barrels up front, he would make them and age them, and I could release them under my own label. It's just like, so that's an investment we got to do. Well, that's the problem, Lance. In Alabama, you're not legally able to transport more than 5 gallons of any alcohol. Eric, a 53-gallon barrel for bourbon, typically. Alex, what's going on? Just joining in. Bought an old granddad bottle in bond for $16. What do you think about it? I haven't had the bottle in bond. I've had the 80 proof. I've had the 114. Both excellent whiskeys. 53, yeah, Cheech there with the 53. So, yeah, so I don't want to measure. I don't want to measure ahead of time, Cheech. I don't want to measure. I'm just going to grab a barrel and throw it in there. But looking at it, I think it'll fit this way in the trunk space. I'm not sure it'll fit down far enough to be able to close the lid, but it's going to be really close. And if it fits this way, it literally, no joke, it'll fit 3, maybe 4. Like the car is enormous. I don't even know how wide it is. It's wide. Just look at a Trump picture, plenty of room. Yeah, like it's turning sideways from side to side in the car. It's like I would be shocked if it didn't fit in there. I'd be shocked. So I'm gonna but I want to see, will it, like, realistically, we're not going to put more than one in the car. The suspension probably couldn't handle it. Rig for sure. Is that good or is that bad? I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if it's good. How long did you say you would drive around with the barrel? Well, bourbon has to be aged for 2 years. Straight bourbon 3 years, and then bottle and bond has to be 4 years. But realistically, it doesn't have to be aged in the same place, I don't think. Now, we couldn't do a bottle and bond unless we somehow had the government bond the Lincoln as a federally bonded warehouse and inspect it occasionally, which would be the funniest possible thing I could ever possibly do. Like, my hope is that someday we get enough resources to get the government to federally bond a Lincoln Continental for a bottle and bond whiskey. I would just have to retire. I'll be honest. I don't know where I would go from there. Like, that would be the pinnacle, and I would just have to quit because, like, what else could we do? That would be the funniest thing I could ever possibly do. But probably not going to happen. Now, we don't have to age it in the Lincoln the whole time. It could drive around for one summer, right? One summer, one winter. We could finish it, so you could age it in a warehouse and then put it in a toasted barrel and then run it around in the Lincoln. Like, I don't, like, even Jefferson's Ocean, I don't think they keep it in that ship for 2 years. They run it around and then they put it in a warehouse for a while and then they release it. So we would have to figure that out. I think it would be funnier if I kept it in there a full 2-3 years, though. What if I had a distribution license? Maybe. Like, that's what he's looking into, is what loopholes. And he said, he's like, that doesn't sound like something somebody would go to jail for. The worst thing that would happen is that they would confiscate the barrel. Like, that's the worst thing that would happen, which is bad because that costs more than the Lincoln. He even said if we could figure out a way to do it, he might be willing to just hook me up with a barrel of whiskey, and then we just settle up on the back end once the whiskey's ready for harvesting, because it just frees up a warehouse spot for him. All good until somebody steals the Lincoln, right? Yeah, I don't want to. I know I can get a tape and I can measure, but I want the visual of the barrel, and I want my surprise when it fits or doesn't. Did you miss me putting the Western Ensemble on? Am I wearing a Western Ensemble? I didn't wear a Western Ensemble. I don't know. Are we doing it in the thumbnail or something? I don't know. What are we? I've used the Western Ensemble a few times. I'm not wearing it. There's so much legal and government tape with getting the Lincoln bottle and bond. Exactly. Yeah. That would be so funny. That would be the fun. Like, Lord have mercy. I don't know. Y'all may not find that funny, but for some reason or another, that is just hilarious to me. Like, not like ha ha funny, but like, really, you got the government to do that dumb thing? Bottle and bond Lincoln. Bottle in Lincoln. Would it bonded in Lincoln? Yeah. Want to go fund me to buy a bonded Lincoln? Try Ocean's aging, hanging it somewhere in a secluded area where the wind gets to it from ratchet straps. And so, Country Boy, like, we may, if we can do this and it's fun, if we could do a Lincoln batch. So, like, I talked to the guy at John Emerald, and if we get the audience big enough, and again, we're really pushing the Discord just so we can communicate and have an active community that's easier to communicate with, because it's hard to communicate on YouTube or any of these social platforms. So we've got the Discord where we're trying to build that. It's, you know, if we could get the community to do it, we could do really fun, dumb experiments every month, every quarter. Like, we could have 4 barrels a year in rotation, or 12 barrels a year in rotation, doing something dumb. Like, I have a ravine behind my house. We could bury a barrel and see what happens. Like, I don't know. We could get a brand new septic tank and bury it underground and put that in like a vault for like a freaking casket or something and bury it underground. It's just going to be 70s or 60 something degrees. So probably not a lot going to happen. But like, we could come up with all sorts of crazy ideas to do with it. I could put it on the back of the Ford. I got an old Ford F-100 out there. We sit it on the back of that. I could put it in the attic of the house, see what happens to it. Like, I don't know. Or we could just try different mash bills and be a little more reasonable, like reasonable folks. That may be, like, we may be going a little too far. I think the Lincoln's fun. Some of these other ideas might be a little too far. 1 month of hanging is equivalent to 1 year of regular aging. Well, think about what, like Alabama heat. It's not Texas. Like if you see Garrison Brothers, some of that Texas whiskey, really bitter oak, because Texas gets a ton of heat. But imagine how much heat you get in the trunk of a Lincoln Continental in an Alabama summer. A lot of heat, but it's not all year. It's just for summer. And then you get a pretty decent winter, at least a month of it being super cold. It could be a really interesting aging experiment, honestly. A couple of live streams ago. Sorry, I don't know who the hell knows what I was doing 2 live streams ago. That was a long time. Yes, well, Bubble Bass way ahead of me there. Exactly. But it won't be like that as long as Texas whiskey. So it could. But that, like, interesting. I don't know. The guy John Emerald said that he thinks that Alabama whiskey, like 2 or 3, like 4 years, a bottle in bond Alabama whiskey is probably going to taste like a 7-year. It's probably going to be like aging it 7 years in Kentucky, just because of the heat, right? Well, I mean, it's not a last-ditch effort. We could do lots of barrels, but we just got to have folks to sponsor it. I don't have a pond, but I might could find one. For the right price, I could rent a pond. We don't come here for reasonable. If you want reasonable, there are a lot of really good, reasonable YouTubers around bourbon. So if you want reasonable, have a good time with those. I mean, you still hang out here. Bill Scott in the house. How hot does it stay year round? I mean, it's not super hot. Like right now, it's pretty moderate, 60s, 70s. Here in the summer, like super hot is, it might high 80s, low 90s kind of thing. Winter, it's going to get down to right around freezing, but not long. Like it'll be freezing for maybe 2-3 weeks a year. But it's pretty moderate. And then the summer is going to be 80 to 90, 80 to 90s for most of the summer. And then you get like super freezing in December, January. All in for Brewzle Science. Dude, we've got a video we're filming right now. I'll wait and let you see it. We're going in on the science. I bought a lab coat and a hard hat and gloves, and like we'll have all the safety gear. All the safety gear you need for a lab, but also all the safety gear you need for a construction site. So those are going to be fun videos. DKG, I appreciate you hanging out. No problem. Yeah, no apologies. Thanks for hanging out. 3 ponds. There you go. Country Boy's got 3 ponds. Where are you located, Country Boy? Were you like Oklahoma or something like that? I don't know why I was thinking that, but. All right. It is Wednesday. It has been a long week. I think we are probably about to call it an evening. He's in Mississippi. That's not that far. We can make that work. All right. I appreciate everybody hanging out. It has been a fun live stream. We have declared the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. Where's it at? It's over here. The Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend as the superior finished whiskey in Armagnac, sherry, and cognac cask. Really good stuff. Had a good time with this. 10 is too much. 10 whiskeys in a blind. I don't recommend it. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. But we made it work. This is what that is what Patreon is for. I promise you, if you join our Patreon, I will spend the money that is donated in the least responsible ways possible. We are going to do the dumbest things. And like YouTube announced some monetizations on shorts that'll be coming early next year. I don't know how much it's going to be. It's probably not going to be a lot. But if we start making money from that, the dumbness is going to ramp up. We are going to accelerate the idiocracy that we've got going on here. So I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate y'all hanging out. This was a fun live stream, and we will catch y'all next Monday. I should be live. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. So we'll be live here again on Monday and Wednesday of next week. Don't forget to join the Discord, and catch up with y'all later.